Hello, everyone. Today in the Don't Shrink to Fit podcast, we have Lucy, the Loopy clown, all the way from the UK. It is the laughter share, the connection form, and the happiness sparked what motivates her to keep on going. She believes that you can't put a price on the immeasurable power of fun, joy, and the connections we forge through shared experiences. This is an episode filled with anecdotes and fun memories, sharing the backstage life of a clown we don't always get to see.
That's
Yay!
it. There we go.
Oh my
Yay.
God, this is so great. I'm so happy we get to spend this time together. How are you?
Oh, I'm brilliant. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. What time is it over there?
Oh, wow. So it's 8:10 in the evening.
Oh, wow. So you have the girls already in bed and everybody's quiet for you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
That is
Oh,
so weird. But
I
you know,
think because we're so far away from each.
that could,
Yeah, I can hear you because we're so far away from each other.
yeah, that's probably it. But this is so strange. I never happened before. That's okay. Okay.
I can hear you. Yes. Oh,
Okay. So, um,
that's okay.
yeah,
Yay.
if you stop listening to me, let me know because we can always edit it. So that's not a problem.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
great. No, I can hear you now. That's fine.
Okay, good. So I'm very excited to have you here. I mean, we follow each other on Instagram. That's a way to meet people now. So I'm
Oh, the
super,
power
super,
of social.
yeah, yeah. So I wanted to start asking you, why being a clown? Why did you decide to be a clown?
Oh, well, I was brought up in the business, though. I was a clown from a really young age.
Mm-hmm.
So from the age of 6. So it's in my blood, just to entertain and bring that fun and joy to children and so many parents as well.
And I read that your dad was a clown as well.
Yes, yes. My dad was a clown, Trumbull the clown. So I worked with him every weekend. We did so many parties and fates, illusion shows. It was just my dad was my dad's not. He's not working anymore. He's retired. So, but it was always a fun family party house. Just it was amazing. A really, really lovely, full of fun and joy. Our upbringing was. So yes.
That's so different. Do you remember your first gig?
Ooh, first gig. Wow. Yes, because I was only 6, and I remember because he started off just performing for family first. So my granddad was Ukrainian, so we used to have a Ukrainian club near us. So he used to always hold parties there when it was Christmas and birthday parties, and that's where we performed first for family. So it was, when you look back, you're like, wow, it was, yeah, crazy.
I know, but you grew up in that environment and now you passing that down to your daughter. So how is it to have a mom clown? How that goes when you have to be upset or when you have to send them time out?
I know, yes, because I get this a lot when I'm doing a party, and other parents will go, "Oh, I bet you're just funny all the time with your children," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not funny all the time. I am a mum." So, and yeah, we do have a really good laugh together, and we've got a really good relationship. I'm kind of quite quite chilled really with them, and just let them be. But my youngest daughter Betsy, she absolutely loves coming to my shows, and I've got two older children, Ella and Martha, so I've given them all the same upbringing. They've all done the same kind of dance, gymnastics, and come to the Loopy shows, but they're now at that point where they go on their own path. So Ella and Martha have both got their own interests, their own jobs, but Betsy comes with me, and she's ace. She's just brilliant. The kids love they love Betsy. I
That
don't
is
have to
so
do
cute.
anything. The kids are just naturally drawn to her. So, and I think it's just downloaded to her because she obviously sees me performing, she's picking it up, and that's how it was downloaded to me through my dad. So I think that's where it comes natural. And my dad used to always say to me, when I was developing my professional character, Loopy Lou, he always used to say, develop a character what's you and what's natural to you. Don't try and be something what's not, and you're performing like that all the time, what's not you. He said, because that's, you're working probably 4 times as hard as when it's just you. So it just, I think Betsy will naturally just find her own kind of character, whether it's a clown character, a gymnastic character, but I think she'll definitely go into the entertainment. She's born with that natural talent.
And what you said is so true, because even in real life, so many times we try to become somebody that we are not. And it's so hard. It's a lot easier just to let your own self flow naturally and be your own self. And also know that when people like you and feel drawn to you, is because of you, not because a character that you are, creating. So that is very insightful. Thank you for saying that. I also wanted to ask you where that name come from.
Loopy Lou. Well, when obviously my name's Lucy, so when I was the clown character with my dad, I was Lulu, and I think I wanted something a little bit different. But yeah, we kind of wrote so many names down, but because Lucy and Lulu and then Loopy Lou, I think I was looking. My dad again said to keep your be a lady clown, but don't. There's so many. It was always very a man kind of profession of clowns. You just automatically think of a man. So my dad said, make sure you keep your feminine side and go for a nice dress and nice shoes. So that's where the kind of the purple spotty dress. So then there is a character called Loopy Lou and Andy Pandy. So I kind of thought, oh, I like Loopy Lou. So, and sometimes I get Loopy, sometimes I get Lou. I don't mind anything. It's just the children are just, well, I'll roll with whatever they want to call me.
That's so beautiful. I
Yeah.
mean, I read that for you it's so important to spread happiness, and I know that you not only go to parties, you also do a lot of performances in hospitals. You bring your joy to the hospitals. Tell me a little bit about that. How did that start?
Oh wow, it's such a special, it's a special place to perform and to be. I'm so lucky to perform in hospitals. I started at the beginning of my career. I saw an advert in a magazine. I got some help by the Arts Council when I first set out to build up my business. I was young, I was 18, and they saw this advert to be a clown doctor. So I was like, oh wow, and I'd never been to London before. That's where you when you messaged that you come to England, you was in London. So it's kind of away. It's right at the other end of the country. Yeah. So I was like, gosh, I've never been to London before. What, just get on a train and go to London? So off I went, and I had to do like a year's training to become a hospital clown.
Really?
And it was great. And then we yeah, it was amazing, the training and the charity we worked for. And again, we design your own clown coat. with all I was Dr. Lulu. I went back to Lulu, actually, Dr. Lulu in the hospitals. It's just a special job. It's totally different to being Loopy Lou, because you never know what you're going to be walking into, and it's just kind of you have to perform in a real sensitive style, and that is where you really have to tune into energies and your light and what you're there to bring you. And you've got to really protect yourself as well, which so it's amazing work, but it's a lot different, a lot more challenging and different energy. It's heavy energy, whereas the Loopy Loo show, you know what you're walking into. You've got 30 kids, 5, 6-year-old, and they're all coming to have a party, aren't they, and eat ice cream and jelly. Whereas in the hospital, you've got to work that room to kind of balance that energy out. And sometimes you think, oh yeah, you're really winning, and some days you might not, but you've kind of just got to understand that it's a sensitive area to work in as well. But it's just amazing, just bringing that fun and joy to so many families. And it's great that it is for the patients, but the parents and the hospital staff all benefit from that light, because they're all under a lot of stress in hospitals. So it's wonderful work.
And it's kind of, I imagine, a break for them, because you take their mind out of the illness or whatever they're going through at that moment, and suddenly they're present, because you are there bringing the joy and the happiness to them. So they kind of, for a little bit, they forget why they are there and where they are at the same time.
Yes, definitely. And it's special, because just taking them out, the power of distraction, the power of laughter, and the comments we get a lot is wow, I've not seen them smile like that for days. That is what we hear a lot. And they're in a lot of pain as well, and it's amazing if you can get the laughter going to distract them from the pain. I mean, you know, with your own children, the distraction you've got to do when they fall over and hurt them, and they are really easily distracted. I joke in my clown shows, we don't give chocolates and things out in the hospitals, but I joke in my clown show, if there's a little baby crying, sometimes I just shout chocolate. And they just go. And parents laugh, because it's things like that. It's it's funny. It's just light-hearted stuff. It's great.
But I think children has the ability to be present much better than us. You know, they are in the moment all the time. Like, for me, it's so amazing, you know, and how they shift. You know, 5 minutes they're upset, and then 5 minutes later they're in a whole different world. And knowing that you are an ingredient in that, you know, switching and that moment of happiness has to be so rewarding. You got froze for a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. So I wanted to ask you, when we had all that, when we had COVID, when people were locked down, I mean, you couldn't do parties, you couldn't go to the hospital. So how that changed your life?
Oh, it's changed my life. Yes, completely. Well, not completely, but it's for the first, it affected a lot of people. And I always say there's been good things what have come out of it. But at the time, I had to shift really quickly and think every single day of how I could turn this round. And I went live like you did every morning, playing my saxophone, waking everybody up with my saxophone. And I did Giggles. I bought Giggles on Wheels was born. So I decorated all my van, did doorstep entertainment. I'd go in. One week I was delivering cakes. One week I was delivering mugs with mantras on and postcards and anything. But it was all the time shifting up, and the parties and the hospitals 2 years. I mean, we've only just gone back into the hospitals, and it was tough. It was really tough, and it's still kind of, I don't like to keep saying, oh, it's not come back the way it was, and it's not, but then I'm just flowing with it, because is this life now where people don't book so far in advance? Because now people just book, I could get a booking for tomorrow.
Right.
People just can't think so far ahead, or it's changed in the way that we plan a party. There's not as many places to hold a party. So, and then parents have got out of practice of planning a party and find it very overwhelming. And then there's obviously the crisis of the money, the recession and things. So there's a whole load of things. But if you tune into every negative, I'm just kind of keep rolling with what's coming out and how it's unfolding and the different journey it's sending me on, which just excites me. I think, well, this is just the way it's meant to go. So yeah, so COVID has taught us all lots of things, hasn't it? And it's really taught us to be more present. I've learned a lot more about myself and learned a lot more about children, because before COVID, I think I took my job for granted. It was always just parties, the hospital parties, and it was that every weekend, and I've been like that for 25 years. Whereas now I'm at the parties, but I'm really at the parties, and I'm really present, and I'm really loving seeing what children are doing and really observing what they're doing and what they're saying, and how children and parents are connecting. I'm really passionate about the parents coming to the parties or an event or in the hospital, and the parents and the children connecting together. And I want them to leave a party with going, oh wow, that was just like the best. I've just gone to Ibiza and back, because I play the saxophone and I spray all the kids with snow, and the parents at the end of it are all going like this, and they're going, wow, I feel like I've just been to a mini rave and back. But it's just great. It's something for all the family, and that's what I'm really passionate about. But now, before COVID, I think I was just more bothered about getting to my next party, and it's not about that. So it's really made me learn a lot about myself as well.
So yeah, we learn with COVID to be more resilient, to be more present. But deep in your heart, what lessons did you get when you have to shift and change your whole life because the world was changing?
Lesson, I think the biggest lesson, I was kind of blaming a lot of outer things. I was blaming COVID, and I was blaming a lot of other, how could I put it? I really felt probably at the time that it was only me, what my life was crumbling. I was like, oh, whoa, this is, I felt like I was in panic mode looking back. I feel like it's been a bit like a bereavement, to be honest, because I feel like I was in panic mode and survival mode. And then I kind of, some days I was really angry with it all. I'm thinking, why is this all happening? Why is it like my business? I can't go out and entertain again. And me and my husband was kind of a little bit like this, because it didn't affect him, as in he worked in the police, so he just used to leave the house and didn't come back, and I was in the house with the kids, so I got really angry as well. So and then coming through it is just now is like just accepting. It's like the acceptance of it. So I feel like what I've learned from it is kind of the journey and the process of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I learned a lot about myself too. and I became more resourceable as well, like you did with your little bus, you know. Are you still doing that even though now you can go in person?
Yeah. So I've been working today in Chorley, and a lady said, "Oh, do you still do your doorstep entertainment?" And I said, "Yeah, I do actually." And it just takes you by surprise every now and then. People go, "Oh, can we just have a little bit of doorstep fun?" And it's great because it's, who needs that big party, because it's about the experience and that child having some Loopy magic and some Loopy giggles and laughter on your doorstep. So it's really adaptable, and life and people and whatever we do is so adaptable when we stop and think and go, yeah. So the giggles on wheels is still, yeah, it's still going strong. It is. It's great. It really is.
And you have planned also to have a
And it is.
lounge, right?
Yes. I've always kind of wanted, have this dream to have a Loopy lounge where people just come and have a cafe and just a space for parents and children to have fun together, whether it's at a party, whether it's just to come and just have a little chat. And not necessarily that I will be the person who's there all the time. But if you just have that glue, everything what I've learned over the years of and how to be with children. Do you know what though? How you said about children are so present. It's quite simple in children's lives. You don't actually really need that many resources. Just being there, your presence is enough sometimes. And this is how I kind of say, you can't put a price on that experience and that memory, what you are creating. And I know we're all very kind of guilty of it, or we all kind of tend to look at the balloons and how decor kind of things, do you know? And I'll go and spend money on decorating all the room full
You
of
get
balloons,
distracted.
and yeah, and I'll go and get a load of nice play. And before you know it, you've spent a fortune, but then you've not even thought about the entertainment. And at the end of the day, it's the entertainment what that child is going to remember, that memory. They're not going to remember the balloons on the wall and the paper plates, do you know? And we kind of, it's trying to open people's minds to, it's just about being sometimes and being together. And you can create so much fun out of the simplest. Children like simple things.
That is absolutely true. Sometimes we go out of our way to create a big production, and what they remember was just that probably you sat with them and had a little chat, and that's all they're gonna talk about for the next month. You know, I had a party and she came and sat next to me and we had a conversation. That's it. Nobody care about the big balloons. Nobody care about the jumping houses or whatever they had in the party. That is amazing. And it is so true. And as an adult, we should learn about being present and noticing the little things that bring joy to our life every day instead of being so worried about the whole production.
Exactly that. Exactly. I'm having at the moment, I'm having so much fun. I do an interview. I call it the Loopy interview, and it's the same questions. What's your name? How old are you? It rolls kind of just naturally. It's crafted for years of, what's your favorite ice cream? What's your favorite Friday night meal? And they answer it really quick, and they're great. They don't overthink it at all. They're straight there. Boom, 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 boom. But my new question at the moment, what I'm having loads of fun with, which is really opening my mind, is what 3 things you would take to your desert island. And parents may think that they won't get what you're trying to say, but 100% they do, because they know straight away it's something what they need. They need. And more, even like 3 and 4-year-olds are saying the most popular ones is food, water, and family. And parents go, wow. But then like the old us would probably say phone,
Right.
my computer, kids, it's the real younger ones. I'm like, wow, you are amazing, because they are the three essential things what you would take: water, food, and your family.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, wow, amazing. So that is how simple it is.
You know, I remember when I was a kid, my dad always um, used to say in Spanish, you say sonríe, payaso, sonríe, which is like laugh, clown, laugh, because he used to say to me that I always have a smile in my face, but he would know what was going on with me when he would look at my eyes. And we always have this
I,
misconception that clowns are always happy because
mhm.
that's how they portray, right? I'm a clown, I'm always happy. But I was reading in an interview that you had a period of time when you were like down and you were having like panic attacks and all that stuff, and it got a little worse with the COVID. How do you deal with that when you have an event that is coming and you mentally, emotionally don't feel up to it?
Good question. So yes, when there's a lot of podcasts what I've listened to over the years, and uh who was it? There was somebody who was it Michael Jordan who was saying it, no matter how sick or how if you're poorly, you can still get out there and perform, or you can go and play, and then you come off and then you go back to being sick again. And that is exactly, I can honestly say in 25 years, I've never had a sick day, apart from when Martha came early. So I've always, even if I've been poorly, I've had to, whether it's just a mask, when I put that Loopy costume on and I put my nose on, you can just mask it straight away. I don't, it's the distraction. I don't know. I don't know how it's magically done, but it is. And then soon as I finish that party and I come back, I'm back to being poorly again. And then it's like, and you're obviously in fight and flight. And it used to happen when I was suffering with panic attacks on the motorway. One was really bad, and my husband had to coax me all the way to my show. And I got to my show and I performed the show, you wouldn't have even known. And I'm like, that's what was kind of even in my head even more, thinking,
It's like you
oh my,
became somebody else.
yeah. And I was like, what is going on here? And when my husband said, you got to go and get some help on it. And I did for years, and I still, for years and years, still just coped with it. It never completely went. I took layers off. I slowed down and still, but the biggest thing in COVID, really, I started taking a beautiful friend of mine who we met on a networking on Zoom, and I was like this and drawn to her energy, and I asked her a magic word and she said flow. So, and she's a really good friend of mine now. So Grace, I went to her garden in COVID and give her with Easter Bunny and give her a bracelet with her word flow on it. And we rocked up with Easter Bunny, and yeah, we danced in a garden because that's all we could do then. And it snowed and rained, and she gave me two ketone drinks, and I was like, I've always kept myself really fit, because that again as well, my dad was at a gym as well, so I've always kept myself really fit. And that's the thing with the panic attacks as well. I'm thinking I keep myself really fit and healthy. I eat well. What is happening to me? Why is this happening? I just didn't know. And I think, and it was burnout of life, and COVID made me stop and realize. And then I do mostly yoga now, and I drink a ketone drink, which helps to calm the nervous system down, and I meditate, and I'm just a lot softer on myself, self-love, and just a lot more gentle on myself. Whereas I used to train, I used to climb up ropes and flip tires, and I thought I was doing a really good job because I'm really high functioning. I can train and I can still be a mum and run around, and the kids were younger. And wow, that it kind of now just like makes me tense up now thinking about it. So COVID was great to kind of make me stop and then realize I don't really that fast pace of life is not not that healthy at all. So now I'm kind of flow, happiness, joy is all, everything what is just, and you have to really go in. I was exercising, same with anything, I was exercising outer, but you've got to really, for me personally, I think you've got to go in. And now I think all the work what I've done over the past couple of years on my inner is massively helped my clown character as well, and the way I relate with children in my shows, the way I am as a mum, and with just my working life. It's you when I go, I have a lovely yoga session in every morning, and she starts with such a pep talk every morning of life, and I wish I'd have known it all this years ago. And she was just this morning talking about kind of the stress, and if you come in and you're stressed, then the kids pick up on that as well, and you're just like, that is again, so wow, yeah, you see people, mums, I see it a lot still at my shows, which is, that's again, because when I can see parents stressed, or because it is, I mean, run a children's party it is very stressful for parents, because then it's out of the comfort zone and they only do it once a year, whereas I'm doing it, crikey, about 4-5 times a week. So that again, yeah, that now I kind of like, I don't know what I do. Sometimes I just breathe. I'm thinking I'm healing all these parents and children, but I feel like sometimes I do just kind of, just a one-liner, put my hand on the shoulder and just go, just enjoy the party and let me take control of everything else. And it just needs something like that sometimes to make you stop. But you can have just a one-liner to just make you stop sometimes, can't you?
Yeah, and especially when you are so aware of what you are feeling, it makes you more perceptive. You can notice when somebody's having that same situation, and you knowing how you feel, you can assist that person and actually help her come out of that situation. So you're there to entertain the kids, and at the same time you're doing therapy for the parents.
Yeah, that's the one. But it's a secret. I goes, oh yeah, that's what I call my real magic.
So would you think,
Oh.
would you say that that is your superpower? Oh, I got disconnected for a little bit. I'm going to ask you again. Do you think that is your superpower?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I just really tuning into, we've all got superpowers, and I tell the children that you've all got superpowers inside you. Just believe in them. And yeah, it's my superpower. It's just, it's light, isn't it? It's light. And if I feel like, I feel over the past few years, and you're healing yourself, and that's, again, I say everything's contagious, and laughter's contagious, sadness is contagious, stress is contagious. I say in my shows, I say giggles are contagious. So and so is healing. So oh, I think we glitched again then. Are we there?
It's okay. We're here. So tell me, what's next for you? What's the dream?
Oh yeah, we're back again, we're okay.
So tell me, what's the dream for you?
My dream. Oh, my dream. Do you know what? I think if it is to, there's two ways. I'd love my my light and my inner gifts for people to good question. Do you know what? My dreams change a lot, and I think my dream was always to have this Loopy Lounge, this space, this kind of place where people could just be happy and just see the joy, but I really love healing, the light and the, like you say, the superpowers, and it's just opening people's minds to it more. But I don't know where to start with, if it's the children, what you keep kind of working with children, or I'm going more down empowering mums as well. Just everything, kind of what I've learned over the last two years is to share that light with mums. Really, I really have this thing for mums, just to empower them of their superpowers. Yeah, I think that
I
is it.
totally get it. I
I
mean,
think,
you listen to what I post. So for me, it's like I have a weakness for moms, and I love to empower women. And I truly think that we all have something to give, you know. And sometimes you hear somebody else's story, and you're like, oh my God, I went through the same thing, and look at her, look where she is now. That makes me feel
yeah,
it's possible for me too, you know. So
mm,
that's why I love this podcast, because I get to talk to people like you that
mm,
from the outside you think, oh yeah, she's so happy and so perfect, whatever. But you also have struggles, and you're aware of the struggles, and you're embracing those struggles, and you're saying, yes, I do have them, and I'm gonna accept them, and I'm gonna work with them, and I'm gonna still give the best out of me.
yes, yes, that is it. And I think, yeah, I think with mums, I've got this because also what it is, children mirror our behavior, and it's downloaded. So I just think if we get it kind of not perfect, but if we understand this superpowers and this kind of calmness, and of it will then naturally flow onto your children. And I've experienced it firsthand with when I was at my worst, with panic attacks. It wasn't great with Martha, who's my middle child, and I talk about it openly. She was really bad as well at that point, and now she comes to yoga with me. She just flows through life, and I was like, wow, because she's just mirroring my behavior. And it's you do when you're living together, even with your husband, your children, when you're all together as one, you're all balancing each other out as well. But if one's under stress, and it is contagious.
Right.
So I think it's so important for mums to keep themselves very, very healthy on the inside and outside for the children. I think that's really that's what I would really love to go more into. That would be my dream, to empower more women. So yeah, and then the kids will just flow.
There you go. And you're talking about flow, and you mentioned before that you gave a bracelet to this lady, and you sent me a beautiful bracelet with the word joy. What is that about? Do you have bracelets on the side that you do for your friends, or you sell them? Is part of your gig? What, how that came up?
Oh, well, Mel Robbins, 54321, many years ago, she said to have a word, and I sent off for my intent bracelet, and then realized, oh, you can buy a kit and make them. So then I used to sit when I was camping and make bracelets for families and friends. I'm like, oh wow, I've got this hammer and these letters, and we'd all be saying words, superb, and so many. And then I chose the word magic, because I was like, Mel Robbins, yeah, choose a word. So I chose the word magic, and that was my first bracelet. And then I generally change them each year, or every couple of months I used to change them. This one says high vibe. I found this the other day in my car. I was cleaning my car out, and I was like, oh, I remember having that one. I'll put that one back on. I like that.
Yeah, there is no coincidences.
No coincidences, no. So my word for this year is 2023.
Mm-hmm.
because I just want to be free of worry, just free like a bird. So in COVID, then the bracelets, I used to connect with so many people. It sent me on such a journey of I would just voice message people and just say, oh, I love your podcast, or I loved your YouTube video. Have you got a word? And I'd love to send you a bracelet. Um, and I just used to send them out all the time to people. And then I go through, do you know what? Children are brilliant at this. I use them in the hospital. I use them in my shows sometimes if there's not loads of kids. If I want to do a really special show and there's only like about 6 children there, because you have to make them. Kids love you
Mm-hmm.
making them there and then. Absolutely. And they don't overthink it at all. They will just tell you, if you ask them what makes you happy, just give me one word. They're brilliant. Candy floss. Family is the most popular one. Family and friends. Happy. They're brilliant at it. They really are. And a girl today at Chorley, I made her bracelet, I think it was 6 years ago. A shawari is a word and it means no worries. And she had it on today from about
Oh,
6 years ago. Shawari. What?
that is so
So
sweet.
they just, no, isn't it gorgeous? They just send me on a journey like yours. I sent it and it got sent back and I sent it.
No
I got sent,
way.
yeah, it kept coming backwards and forwards. I was like, I thought I'll try it one more time. And then you got it this week, wasn't
That
it? I was
is
like,
so weird that
wow.
went back to you. No, and you know, when I went to
Yeah.
the UK and I was thinking, because our flight got delayed and a lot of flights were delayed, so we couldn't find a hotel room around the airport. And we had to be the next morning really early. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness. And I have a couple of my friends in London, and but they were in the States. So, you know, and I said to my husband, I know somebody. I know somebody. And that's when I let you know, but you were in the other side of the country, you
Oh,
know. But and we end
oh,
up having an Airbnb. But you know, at the end of the day, this world is so small. We think it's so big,
yeah.
but we're all connected, and that is so beautiful to me. I mean, the fact that I'm talking to you and you're all the way in the other side of the world, and we're sharing, and we have so much in common. It's
Joy.
it's magic. It's really magic.
It really, it really is magic. And I love what you said before. There's no such thing as coincidences. There's not. It's just kind of how it just kind of connects and it's just meant to be. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Magic.
Yep. Well, I wanted to thank you. This was a lovely conversation. I really enjoy it. Thank you for letting us get inside your world and learn a little more about what it is to be a clown, what it takes to be a clown, and your heart and how you feel. And not every day doesn't have to be a perfect day. It's up to us to make it a great day.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm just so oh in awe and just so happy that you've asked me to come on your podcast. You just bring your um Instagram just brings a smile to my face every day. I always look forward to like, oh wow, and just resonate with everything what you put out there and the difference you're making and inspiring so many people. So thank you.
No, thank you. I appreciate your words. You know, I think that when we show up our authenticity to the world, it's easier
Mm.
to connect with others. You know, we don't need to try to be perfect. We don't need to try to look perfect. Some days are great and some days are not, and it's okay. You know, every day it's like I tell my kids, it's only a bad day. It's not a bad life. So
Yeah.
concentrate on your lessons of today, apply them tomorrow, and make tomorrow a better day. That's all you can do.
Oh wow. Oh, love you. That's amazing. That's oh, thank you so much. And I start my day with your book every day.
Ah,
It's just the best. It
that's so sweet. Thank you
is.
so much, Lucy. I really appreciate your time. And I know that everybody that has been listening to this episode is going to remember you, is going to look you up. I'm going to put all your information in the description. And, um, and we continue connecting in Instagram and social media.
Yes. Oh, and we will meet one day.
Yes, we will, for
Oh,
sure. I promise. Next time, I'll give you a little
oh.
bit more of a heads up.
Definitely, I'll be over. Oh, thank you
Okay.
so much.
Until next time.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
oh, thank you. Bye-bye.
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 Thank you so much for listening. Please don't forget to follow and share. You never know who will benefit from listening to this episode. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day, and please remember to be kind to yourself.